Sounds real? Sounds real?
1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds real?
Sounds real.
This is a Sounds Real show, and I'm Jason.
And I'm Jack.
And this is Release the Cheeze. And on today's show, we have Ackurett. If you saw the other episode where we interview, check it out. So on today's show, we're going to do a little something different. We're not really going to review a movie, just a particular movie.
No.
We kind of want to do a little bit of friendly banter and see what kind of movies we like, you know, what kind of genres, what kind of movies we liked in the past when we were growing up, some of your top picks. So what do you think, guys?
All right, sounds good.
So, all right, let's pass the mic over first to Sounds Real, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Pass it over to Ackurett. It's okay. So, what kind of movies, you know, when you were growing up?
When I grew up, it was a lot of childhood movies. I mean, obviously, because like I was born in '87, so I caught a lot of the early Disney wave of like Aladdin.
Oh, okay.
So like that was also like The Sandlot was huge.
I remember that movie.
Little Giants.
Yes, forever.
Then I started like growing up, so I was like, okay, like The Faculty. Ooh.
Ah,
Like,
Faculty. I like
And
that
then
one.
you start hearing the rumors of like, you know, the Exorcist, like, oh, it's too scary to watch, and you know, like
That was scary though.
and then
That was scary.
so I was like, I want to say, when did Terminator 2 come out? Like 94? 92?
Yeah, we're in the 90s.
So I was like, what, 5 years old? By the time it came out on VHS, I was like, oh man, I gotta see what that movie's about. And
VHS, guys. We'll explain it to you guys later.
VHS,
For those that don't know.
but you had to record it, you know, on the VHS. Like it had to be tuned into the TV at the right channel at the right time.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh man,
Fix the tracking.
I used to think that movie was so real, like super real, because like that part where she's at the cage, at the chain link fence, and she sees the playground, and then like everything blows up nuclear. I was like, like what the fuck? Like it's real. Like this is gonna happen. Like
I gotta admit, you know, the special effects were not how it is now. I love the special effects back then. Everything's CGI.
Well, yeah, no,
You know,
those
but-
special effects weren't they done? They were like real. I mean,
They use animatronics. They use all kinds of, you know,
it wasn't CGI stuff.
a lot of stuff. It was just awesome back then. So what about older movies? Did you ever venture into, you know,
older movies, yes.
because I know a lot of the, you know, the younger crowd, they have no idea what the movies were past the 90s, and it's kind of sad. Like there's some people that I know personally.
Only watch movies from
2000,
2000,
and they're like,
2000.
Hey, have you heard of this? You know, have you heard of Taxi Driver? Like,
Oh, yeah.
when did it come out? It was in the theater not too long ago. I was like, no, it's the 70s, man. You know, but it's
I barely saw that film like 2-3 years ago.
Which one? Taxi Driver?
Taxi Driver.
Oh.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
The way it was,
Have you seen
the way it was shot and
Have you seen
everything.
the movie The Joker? The one with Joaquin Phoenix? The Joker?
Yeah.
Okay, can you see where it was connected to kind of where the Taxi Driver feel?
Yes, I could see that that direction that they took for both, and how the similarity.
What about horror movies?
Oh man,
Like
I love
horror
horror
movies,
movies, but I'm not too polished on like keeping up with them.
Okay.
So like when I grew up, you know, my name's Andy, so like the movie Chucky scared the shit out of me. That scared the shit out of me. And my parents had bought me a doll, which is based off the, you know,
Really?
movie.
It's
Not a good guy doll. It's
Oh yeah,
My buddy.
my buddy.
oh,
Wherever
man,
he took
I
him, wherever
hated
he
that
went.
doll in the house. I hate it. I would get like a blue crayon, like draw on its face. Like,
Oh, you ruined the doll. I was gonna say, we still have it. I would buy it. We'll take that
I
doll
hate
off your
that movie.
hands.
I hate that scene where he's like in the mental house with the doctor, and they're like, he's after me. He sees, you know, Chucky walking in the parking lot, and he's like, no one believes
This
me.
is the first movie, right? Child's
Yeah,
Play?
the first one.
Child's
Yeah,
Play. Yeah, it
Child's
was not
Play,
Chucky. It was
yeah.
Child's Play. Yeah.
yeah, the Child's Play. Yeah.
So that's interesting. What about you, Jack?
As far as horror, I kind of mentioned that last time. Maybe I didn't. My first exposure to the horror genre, that's my favorite genre. So I'm gonna speak exclusive of that. Was from our grandmother, and she would watch those old Universal films. like Dracula and Wolfman and Frankenstein and all that type of stuff. Yeah, and she would watch a lot of the Hammer films. I remember those as well, with Vincent Price and Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee. So that was my first introduction to that. And to me, I thought, I was like, oh, this is scary stuff. I mean, as a little kid, right? And I think the first horror film that I remember watching that really, truly, genuinely scared me was probably, it wasn't even The Exorcist, that came later, was probably Alien. I don't know what I don't know what year Alien came out in.
Wow.
Yeah, that one was scary for me, and I loved it. Fell in love a little bit more with that whole genre, and there were some movies that really freaked me out when I was a kid. Obviously, The Exorcist, when I did see it. There was The Shining. Saw that flick, and that really, I couldn't sleep. Oh, you know, a really weird one was Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the remake. I think it was the one with Sutherland.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that takes place in San Francisco
Yes.
and all this stuff. That really freaked me out as a kid. Anyway, so that feeling of just, being uncomfortable, being scared, but once it's over, it's over. I just fell in love with that genre, and I started going a little bit deeper into those films. And I was introduced later on in my college years, hanging out with people like John and Gabe. We started watching a little bit more of these underground films that were out there, and that's probably where your influence came in, because we were watching that stuff at the time. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, the love of film has always been there, though.
Well, my first movie that kind of creeped me out, and it's not very many movies do creep me out or anything, but was Night of the Living Dead, believe it or not, the George Romero version with 1968, black and white.
Yeah.
I saw it on public access TV once.
Oh, yeah,
and,
they play that.
And I thought it was kind of creepy because what creeped me out was the music. That weird music they use when they're feasting, they're munching on everybody. Yeah, it was like a weird, I don't know how to say it, but it was just kind of creeped me out. I was watching it at night in the dark, and I was like, everybody's asleep, and I was like, oh. And then I remember, I think it was on USA, they played this short, which really creeped me out. It was like these aliens, this race of people that were androgynous, and they were huge giants.
What was this?
They were like giant people. It's like a 70s film. It was weird, and it just creeped me out. There was no talking. It was just these.
What movie?
Huge,
Do you remember?
I don't remember. It just creeped the hell out of me. It's just so weird.
I do remember USA releasing like short.
Yeah, they had
like
some
that.
weird
They
stuff
some
late at
weird
night.
stuff,
USA up all night.
It's like 2-3 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were drinking at the time. You were going out. You had no time for that
I wasn't watching a lot of
stuff.
stuff.
You were partying with Innocent Sin at the time, and
Yeah.
so. But me personally, I love the horror genre, and I love all aspects of the horror genre. There's all kinds of extreme horror, all kinds, grindhouse. So I love all that. But recently, just last year, I've been really into the martial arts movies. So I really have like an affinity for that too, but not like the famous martial arts movies. People are thinking, oh yeah, Van Damme or Steven Seagal or something. No, I'm talking about like Jeff Wincott, and people are like, who's that?
Who's that? Yeah.
Ralph.
Really quick on that. So, I grew up in the 70s, so there was a lot of, Bruce Lee was huge. And his movies were being really marketed at the time. So I remember as a kid watching those early Bruce Lee movies, and there was a lot of these, knockoff kung fu films. I didn't know at the time. Now it's funny that you mentioned that, is that some of those knockoff, or whatever, the kung fu genre of films that was happening in the 70s. That's what you're collecting now. That's what you're watching.
Yes.
So,
So I have a massive collection of Shaw Brothers.
Yeah.
Shaw Brothers, you're familiar with it. They were a production company that produced a lot of movies.
Wu-Tang uses a lot of their clips, the Shaw Brothers.
Yeah, Shaw Brothers is good.
They do. They do.
And Golden Harvest was their rivals, and I have a lot of Golden Harvest movies as well. But just growing up as a kid, it's funny you should say, you grew up with family movies and stuff. And
Disney.
Yeah, I was
And-
the youngest of four, so like I was rarely gonna bump into an R-rated PG-13
Really?
film.
Were your parents strict about that as far as you watching those
Definitely.
films?
Like I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Oh, really?
wow.
What?
Like The Simpsons was like, whoa.
Really?
And I was like, well, it's not that bad. Like, come on,
you can't watch Simpsons.
Yeah, so like
you
whenever
were
chance I
sheltered.
got, like, oh
Yeah.
man. So I'd have to hear like the rumors from like friends at school, like, oh,
Hey, did you see Simpsons? Like,
And
no.
you know what's really funny? Yeah. You know what's really funny though is that when you hear these movies that you can't watch, they always seem hyped up. Like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna watch? It's gonna be scary. It's gonna be bloody. And a lot of times the hype wasn't even there because I heard that too.
Oh,
where
yes.
certain
It's
movies.
only a movie.
Yeah,
It's only a movie.
It's only a movie. No, but it's true. You watch it,
Yeah.
you're like, oh jeez, and then you revisit it later, and you're like, oh my gosh, like perfect example, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of my favorite films, right? But I had heard that it was one of the bloodiest movies, one of the most
Graphic,
violent movies.
yeah.
Ever since I was growing
Disturbing
up.
and all this.
And so when I finally watched it, I must have been, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, I don't know, around that age. And I was expecting to see this really, really like obscene film where, it's banned in certain places. And I was like, holy smokes, it's really tame.
That's how I felt about Meteor Man, dude. It was so.
Neat.
Meteor Man was like so graphically urban and
Whatever.
everything, and then I
Yeah.
watched it. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
It just sounds.
Okay.
it was just overhyped for you. Like
Yeah.
someone overhyped it.
Yeah, don't believe the hype.
He's being silly, but Meteor Man's like a family film or something. But that was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I was like, well, most of the violence is off screen. It's a creepy film. Don't get me wrong. It has its elements of horror.
See that? Yeah, but that movie it builds on atmosphere.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
thrives on just building that suspense.
Yeah,
and
it's
it
like
just kinda, it creeps you out.
that's a great film.
It's a
though.
good.
Oh, yeah,
have you ever
yeah.
seen it?
No.
You haven't
Like,
seen Texas
man.
Chainsaw? Oh, look
Toby
at
Hooper.
I've seen some of the franchise's films, like a couple of the newer ones.
okay.
You gotta see the original.
Yeah, the original is where it
Yeah,
all started.
Toby
ori-
Hooper, right?
Toby Hooper, yeah.
The original, unfortunately, I haven't seen it.
And everyone riffs on that movie. Everyone takes elements.
Like one of the first
movie.
ones I saw was with, is it with Matthew McConaughey?
Oh yes,
yeah.
yes. Generation. I think there's something called
yeah,
Generation.
I forgot
the
which.
Next Generation.
But
I
I
think.
Next
saw,
Generation,
I
yeah.
saw that one. And I was like, man,
And it
it
stars.
tripped
What's
me
her name
out.
too? What's her name? Oh, the other actress. She was nothing at the time.
Renee Zellweger.
Yes.
Zellweger.
Oh, she's in. Yeah,
She's in that.
yeah. That was one of the first ones I saw, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, okay,
Horrible
this is
movie,
a kind
horrible.
of weird franchise, but
Yeah.
Not a very good movie.
No,
In my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much. I'll
But-
be honest,
but
I didn't like it
you
that
got,
much.
You got to check out the first one, and the second one are my favorite. The second one's funny. It has more of a comedic element to it, but it holds.
I never
It holds.
My bad. I never saw Rosemary's Baby. Like,
Oh, that's another,
another one.
That built up so much hype. They don't even show the damn baby.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They never show it.
What'd you do to his eyes?
And
It's his
I'm all
father's
waiting for the
eyes.
money shot, and it never
Yeah, that's
came.
true. That
So-
dude, that's another one. Yeah, we have to do like.
Yeah, I waited through. That is a long movie. I waited through like an hour and 40 minutes, and nothing, no baby.
What about Faces of Death?
Oh, now you're talking about the exploitation
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
that-
Yeah.
I did see that, and for you that don't know, it was fake. The first one, the first few ones.
Well, they did use some of the.
Well, yeah, some of the
animal
stock footage,
stuff,
yes.
yeah, stock footage stuff that they use.
tribal
animal,
stuff.
Tribal.
The animal killings.
But a lot of it was faked. And then, I was never impressed by those because it was like, oh, the most shocking movie ever and stuff. But I was kind of like, okay, whatever. You can go on the internet now and just see that stuff for free. It's out there. And it's real.
Yeah. Me personally, I'd rather watch a movie. I like the
Yeah,
creativity that they put behind the kill scenes, all kinds of stuff. I love it. So I'd rather watch something like that. That shows how creative they can be, and shows their talent. And not as far as the director and everything, and so. But I'm a big movie buff. I love movies. I have acquired an amassed collection. What is it, like 7,000 plus movies?
Yeah, we could open up.
And they're all physical. Physical
Yo,
media,
okay.
yeah. I have binders, and
Like-
so
like all these?
so like here, this is just like last week's haul. I haven't even got to it yet. They're still wrapped. Black Past, Birds Part 2. And
What?
if anybody didn't know, there was actually a Birds Part 2. Remember the old movie, The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock? Yeah, well.
Well, there's a sequel.
There's a sequel. In case
Yeah.
you didn't know.
And so some Hong Kong exploitation. So I got everything, from comedy to poly, from everything.
Yeah, he has a lot of movies. A little too much.
But, any last words? Any
Comedies. Do you guys like comedies or
twins.
twins?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's not my favorite genre, but I'm kind of like the old school comedies.
Police Academy.
You know? Yeah.
Night Patrol.
Yeah,
I
those
like
were
them.
goofy comedies like Airplane and stuff like that.
Oh, I love Airplane.
But to be honest, like my first exposure to the comedies I kind of liked was kind of like the Marx Brothers, which is like really really old stuff. Laurel and Hardy, because that's that kind of. I know, right? But that's what I was exposed to, like Abbott and Costello.
So like
like a slapstick.
So like Happy Gilmore, where does that rank?
Oh, I like
Happy Gilmore.
You know what? I've
the
never
early
seen-
Adam Sandler movies.
I've
I
never
do.
seen
Okay.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
What?
You're
Never
lying.
seen it. I
What's
What's
swear.
that one, Big Daddy?
Never seen it.
The Waterboy.
I've never.
Waterboy, yes, I
I've
like
never
that
seen
one.
the
I have all
Waterboy.
those.
I saw the one with Adam Sandler with Drew Barrymore. I like that one. That was the one where,
Which one? There's like 3 of them.
where she keeps losing.
50 First Dates.
Yeah, she keeps losing the memory or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
I thought that was
That's a cool one.
a cute movie.
Billy
I actually
Madison?
like Punch Drunk Love.
Madison.
I did like Punch Drunk
Yeah, that's
Love.
a different type of
I
movie. but
I
like
hated it the first time, and I rewatched it the second time. I liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
I
of people
do-
don't like it. They
Yeah.
just don't get it at
Yeah,
first.
well-
It's like, I like that movie.
I did too. I like that movie a lot.
Saves
I
all
like
those
the
pudding
director.
cups.
Yeah, I dig the director. What's your favorite comedy or what's your?
Favorite? Oh man, there's just like, of course, Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good
the
one.
classic.
Yeah.
It's just
That's a
yeah,
good
just
Not
you can
Dumb
just
and
watch that
Dumberer.
anytime. Yeah, no.
Let's not do that one.
I like some of the newer ones. I guess like Wedding Crashers.
like Wedding Crashers.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, I did like, what is it, Bridesmaid?
Bridesmaids.
Yeah,
That was a really
Bridesmaid,
cool,
that was
that was a cool
raunchy.
one, Bridesmaid. That's still old. You guys are like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
That
But
happened like
those-
10 years ago.
Those some of those raunchy, what I call the raunchy comedies.
13 going on 30, guys.
Oh, jeez.
That's my movie. But anyway, that's my guilty pleasure.
Do you guys have a point scale, or
Oh, we are. We're gonna-
how do you?
It's either thumbs
Like,
up,
it's
thumbs
thumbs
down.
down,
It's thumbs
or,
up.
or in between.
Or
That's
neutral,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah?
neutral. Yeah, there's
Okay.
only 3.
Yeah, it's either like, I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
I don't love
So-
it, but I don't hate it.
Well, that's interesting. So what would be your favorite genre, though?
Favorite genre is
Like your go-to good, feel-good type genre that you always,
it used to be comedy. It used to be comedy, but it's like more like suspense, more thrillers, more. How would you say what's Argo characterized as? What's
Like drama suspense.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what is it based on true stories?
Oh yeah.
Like those
Yeah,
kind of
That's
films.
that's what Apple likes. Those like
Sense
true
suspense.
story stuff.
Yeah, like it's it's
Based on a
true
true
to an
story.
extent. Yeah.
Snoozers.
Inspired by a true story, and then it's like totally different.
Yeah, it's
That happens
totally
to a lot too.
yeah.
I've seen that. Inspired by true events. And the
It's
only
like-
thing that's
yeah.
true is the names,
Yeah.
the date. But no, that's cool. That's interesting. I mean, I like everything. I do. I honestly like everything.
What about music movies based off of like let's say like what was it, Bohemian Rhapsody?
I like that. It wasn't.
the
It,
Rockstar?
the Elton John one. I forget the name of the Elton.
I didn't see that one. I like the Bohemian because Queen's my favorite band, but I liked it. I was gonna like it anyway, because I have a bias towards Queen. But
Biopics. There you go. Biopics.
biopics, yeah, certain biopics are really fun. I liked I, Tonya. That was a good one. That was a funny one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not a big fan on like those
Me
reality
either.
type of films that are based on reality or whatever. You like biopics or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not. Such
I do
a-
love rock and roll horror. If you're not familiar, there was a big resurgence of movies that are trying to come back, like Death to Metal. Death to Metal's a new
was
one. Deathgasm, and there's some movies that are coming out. But back in the late '80s, there was like a bunch of these rock and roll movies, like Slaughterhouse.
the
and
big ones.
Slaughter Rock,
Trick
and
or Treat.
Trick or Treat. It's just
Oh, there's
man.
a ton of them. We can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going blank. But there's
Yeah,
a
me too.
ton of 'em.
Hack-O-Lantern.
Yeah, Thor came out in a lot of them. This heavy metal artist Thor, he came out in a lot of those movies.
Yeah, I think that was Zombie
Yeah,
Nightmare.
Oh my god,
They're just so cheesy.
they're
but so
cheesy.
fun. And they showcase all this heavy metal music though. That was the thing back then, you know.
Yeah.
It was like heavy metal oriented, and you know the soundtrack would be nothing but heavy metal bands, and it was cool. It was-
A lot. Black Roses.
yes.
You know that was a good one.
Can you recall a cheesiest movie
jeez.
one of the cheesiest movies that's just like, oh man, like
Oh, we got
they
tons.
mailed it in, or
But you know what? For me,
there's tons.
for me, really quick would be Meet the Feebles.
top 3 or top 5. Just
That's
like,
one of my
It's
top.
in there.
cheesiest. Meet the Feebles is a good
Yeah,
one.
it has puppets. It's a movie with puppets. And
Yeah.
it's really graphic. It has all kinds of stuff.
It's a horror?
Name it. Yeah, it's
Peter
it has-
Jackson.
Yeah, it has horror.
Yeah, it's Peter Jackson film. It's the Lord of the Rings guy, so
Yeah, it's very, very violent.
very violent. A lot of drug use, a lot
A lot
of
of
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, because a lot of stuff. I don't even want to
Lot of
mention all the
stuff,
stuff.
yeah.
Because
We're
it's
gonna get
out-
banned
They're
if we
animals.
mention-
Let's just. I just want to say
They're not
animals.
animals. They're puppets.
They're puppets, but they're animals.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
cows,
yeah,
rats, flies.
It's a parody of the Muppet Show, basically.
Yes, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really
Meet
cool.
the Feebles, guys.
Yeah.
No, I cheesy. I can't think. You?
No, that's why. Yeah, I was checking to see.
Oh
where-
well, no. We're after the show. We're gonna hook up with some movies to watch.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Good,
absolutely.
good recommendations.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, in conclusion, this is Release the Cheese, guys. We did something a little bit different.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Next time, we'll probably review another movie. We'll showcase a particular movie. I personally want to do The Gardener. We haven't done that one, right?
No.
I really do. Charles Bronson look-alike.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
That's a really good one. So, like always, press like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next reel.
Take us out, Danny.